Hey people, welcome to Blu UK Jazz Dance. I want to talk about improvisation as a skill from a African diaspora's perspective, from a black perspective. We use it to improve our health and well-being. We use it from our early days as ancestral people. That's right, till today. And it's not been acknowledged. Now, who changed the message of how our improvisation was seen? Western society did. Asian society did, and Arabic society changed how improvisation was viewed in the West, in the world of the globe. So what happens is we have this sort of mindset, stereotypical mindset. I'll give you a prime example. Oxford Brookes University, I attended Oxford Brookes University in Oxford 05 to 09. I've got an amazing award as a person who was person diagnosed as dyslexia going to university. I use improvisation as a skill to overcome learning difficulties, overcome injuries, and overcome ailments that actually came from me having learning difficulties. Because what happens was the stress of the learning difficulties and injuries led to my immune system going down, and that led to a host of 20 different types of illnesses. You know, it's an amazing story. But what happened was dance, improvisational dancing, actually boosts your immune system. I recognized this from very early on. Dance made me more alert. Dance made me smarter. It did. Dance made me believe I could learn. So when you have these factors, as well as dance gave me courage, it enabled me to do things. Because I was going to competition, because the dancing I did was a dance sport. All the dances I did. Dance gave me courage and confidence to actually go into competitions and win them. Then furthermore, to coach other people in my community. I was coaching loads of people. A lot of people want to dance. Yeah, because they want to be part, because they know dancing in my community is part of our central communication. That's the simple is our development of our interpersonal skills, the way you connect males and males, the building of the camaraderie and friendships, females and females, male and female. How do you get together? They talk about dance is a great activity for males and females to bond, which is to experience communication without talking. And you know, it's amazing. A girl called Carolyn, who I dance with in Earth and Rainey's community, she gave me a testimonial about what I do in the club, and she said, I just connect with Blue when I dance with him. I don't have to speak. He just seems to understand what I'm feeling. And I showed that sometimes I can tell that she's down a little bit. She's got a low mood when she dances. And one time she just said to me in the club, oh, I felt bad. She said, I felt bad today. I said, I know. I can tell from your dancing. Because dancing, excuse me, it's good to practice in the mask to feel, to try to experience what type of things you will feel. I'm a person with asthma, and practicing to use the mask. Wearing the mask is not causing me any challenges right now, but it's just something went down my throat the wrong way. I don't know how that happened, but as you see, I've gone through it and I'm back. I'm cool, calm and collected. Improvisation has been part of my life since my mother's womb, and many people don't know improvisation starts placed in the mother's womb. My role as a dancer, as a multi-skilled, multi-talented performing artist, visual artist, is to raise people awareness. Improvisation is a skill, and it started from nature. We studied nature, and nature became part of our knowledge to improve ourselves as a human being. We saw nature. We saw how nature operated, and we drew from it for what we wanted. Have you got that? In the African diaspora world, the drumming, you learn African drumming, it's just not drumming. It's actually it relates to the sounds of the earth. The languages in West Africa and various places, they took from the sounds of the earth. Do you understand? You'll find that they drew upon, like a scientist, they drew upon nature for their learning, thinking and development. Have you got that? So example, all over the world, everybody will know what an eagle stands for. It's symbolic, isn't it? Flying soul, the bird that flies the highest than any other bird. If you go anywhere in the world, guaranteed everybody will know the symbolism of of the eagle. Everybody does. And then people drew upon the eagle as symbolic. So the Romans, they drew upon, they had the eagle shown as a symbol. Yeah? But they knew about it, and everybody across the world, if you went across the world and you showed the eagle in drawings, people would know that they use it for symbolism. Have you got that? And it's important for people to understand that. All over the world, people know that improvisation plays an important role in the development of a child. Early learning, the child can only develop through improvisation. In the early stage, we didn't have Western education. We had early learning, going to child learning. It was improvisation for those that lived off the land. My parents were born off the land. My grandparents were born off the land. And my great-grandparents were born off the land. For them to survive, they had to learn to improvise. And so what's the connection between West Indians and African Americans? And some of them are West Indians. They talk about, they have an experience, an oppressive experience, well, a free experience where they had to learn to survive, be it in the desert, be it off the land. They had to learn to improvise to survive. And they had to use creativity, their intelligence, to create new ways to learn, think and develop. While we're here, how do we survive? That's what improvisation opens up to. And so you have to have activities to enable people to be using that process of improvisation. That happened through one, a rites of passage, because to improvise through hard circumstances, through trauma, you have to learn about endurance. So what we did, we created rites of passage, dances, music that shaped our endurance, shaped our ability to go through hardships, to be persevering. So if you think of the Red Indians, yeah, what they used to do to develop their warriorship, they did it because that's the only way they could survive in society. Other people had different types of rites of passage, some of them really crazy. But it was all done to shape people's endurance, perseverance to live in the society that they live. So I'm in the West. So therefore I have to learn something about Western education, don't I? Right. Now Western education, people are unaware, there's different levels of Western education. There's Western education that empowers, like for example Montessori, go and look up Maria Montessori, look at Steiner. The education for young people is one which is more creative. Then we had what is called Victorian education, which disempowers you, makes you feel bad about who you are. Look at Catholicism, for example, how the church, they talk about Catholic schools gave people A-level guilt. If you do this, you're a bad person, this and that. How do I know? Because I was brought up a Catholic. Yeah? Right, okay. So I can tell you about A-level guilt. What it did, I kissed a girl, I feel like I've sinned. Amazing how it can work on you. I had to learn myself to say kissing a girl is not a bad thing. Do you understand? How I feel, how it made me feel. Is important. We're not going to go there, continue with that, but I'm just giving you understanding of how educational systems and how they view improvisation and learning. One can be empowering and one can be disempowering. Jazz as a vehicle should be studied as an aid. Every person in the world should study jazz because jazz will teach you about improvisation as a skill. It'll teach you about improvisation in your life. So as an individual, my parents gave me the small steps and Coltrane gave me the giant steps, and he gave me the number one step was to love improvising with a supreme attitude and value. Yeah? Today, Coltrane's albums are still gone back to. This is the 60th birthday anniversary of Coltrane's giant steps today. There's no thinking that surpasses his improvisational thinking. Besides Love Supreme, etc. Why do we go back to it? Because he created it to raise our consciousness. So one of the things that improvisation does, it raises our consciousness about who we are and what we are. Because it takes you through an explorative journey. And that journey is self-love. That journey is self-caring. That self-journey is developing one's self-awareness and developing one's self-knowledge. One of self-empowerment, one of self-mastery, one of self-improvement, one of self-growth. That is what improvisation does. So when people see me dance, I laugh. You know, people say to me, "Oh, you dance because you dance." I'm sorry, excuse me. You dance because you want to reflect. You want to show off. I really laugh. I really laugh. I have to laugh because, you know, I put some stuff up in Instagram. You know, and people come back to me, "Oh, you put a lot on Instagram." What they're relating to, they think it's egotistical. I don't put stuff on Instagram to be egotistical. I'm sharing my lifestyle, my culture, and my movement with you. I live improvising every day, and I put it up every day as part of my diary. And I put it up every day because I'm a person with dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. But I can't remember the moves I did, and I want to remember the moves, so I put them up also. But I put it up as a sharing, because dance, I'm a dance enabler. In our culture, we have something called griots and griotesses. They're people carriers of the dance music and the history of our culture. And what they do, they encourage dance in the community. Why? Because dance, what it does, improves your health, your well-being, your values, your attitudes, increases your positivity. It gives you feel-good energy. That is why I dance. I do it to encourage people, because many people are shy. Many people are self-conscious. Many people are inconfident. Many people don't have the courage. And when they see other people, especially when you hear my story, I had 2 left feet. I was a person who had social anxieties, was extremely shy, was very clumsy. When you see me now, if I can do it, then you can do it. And that's why I put my information on Instagram. I'm sharing with you improvisation. Improvisation is skill and why we use it as an individual. And what's happened is there's educational systems which promote improvisation, empowering other people, and there's educational systems that disempower people to believe improvisation is important, that improvisation leads to lack of structure, lack of positive values, attitudes and traits. Because remember, jazz, let's get this clear, jazz was stereotyped as the devil's music. I'll just leave it there. Blu UK Jazz, that's out.